A recent Global Cities Index report has placed Cape Town third in the world for property price growth, just behind Vancouver and Shanghai. It has become increasingly difficult for Cape Townians to gain a foothold in the property market, and there are many reasons for this.
You've got quite a big move of people coming down from Pretoria and Johannesburg looking for that lifestyle in Cape Town. They come down here for 4 days of the week or sort of long weekends, and then they go back up to Johannesburg on business, Pretoria on business. So you've got that local interest as well, and then you've also obviously got international interest, which I think there's always been an element of, but I think with the weather, the time difference, the rand has to be taken into account.
I think what we have seen is a lot of new faces, people moving down from Joburg, Durban, Eastern Cape, other parts of the country, either in search of new job opportunities or moving here because of the infrastructure that we have in place. We've got some of the best state schools in the country. We've got, obviously a very well-renowned level of service delivery that the city's provided over the past 10 to 15 years. So people are moving here because it's an attractive city to be.
Bryant also cited the global trends of international investment and urbanization, but that Cape Town has unique challenges in this regard due to the literal lay of the land.
We know the stats of migration to cities. It's moving to, I think, something between 60 to 70% over the next 10 years. People who are going to be moving and living in cities away from rural areas. And obviously what that does is it increases the need for housing, and the closer you get to the centre of the city, the more expensive those property prices are going to become. In Cape Town as well, we found that our city in particular has seen a lot of growth. We don't have the ability to sprawl in the same way as a city like Joburg or even a city like London, because we've got a mountain and an ocean which prevents us from doing so.
The city is therefore adopting a densification policy in an attempt to meet the demand for affordable housing.
We've already rolled out a number of affordable housing projects located close to key transport routes. As you may know, we are connecting the city as well through our IRT system, which is the new MyCity buses. And we found that by looking at a transport-oriented development strategy where we can connect people along key transport routes where property prices are a bit more affordable.
Other international cities are experiencing a similar housing crisis, but London, for example, is staging a rebellion. New Mayor Sadiq Khan is committed to seeing homes marketed exclusively to locals for the first 6 months and developing a policy that ensures rent is based on income levels and not market rates.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly an initiative, and I think it's a very interesting concept which I think a lot of cities could take on board, definitely. The other thing is affordable housing. So what they could is that when you look at developments, is a certain percentage of affordable housing has to be within that development. That is certainly something that they've done in London. London has been going through a gentrification process for a long time. London has had international wealth and buyers for a long time. And I feel that Cape Town is actually possibly only at the start of this.
Gentrification is a thorny issue in Cape Town given South Africa's history of land ownership, which the city says often clouds the benefits of the process.
But what we are seeing in an area like Woodstock, for instance, is a lot of development taking place. So people are investing in the area because of the fact that it's so well located and it's close to the Cape Town CBD. And there are a number of opportunities for developers. So we do have a lot of derelict buildings in that area. Not all of them are inhabited. We have some serious antisocial issues, crime and drug dealing in the area, and a lot of those buildings are also being rehabilitated and fixed up. So it's not necessarily a case of everybody being evicted in order for this development to take place. There is low-hanging fruit, and by improving those areas, we're also improving the standard of living for people who are currently residing there.
Protecting the architectural heritage of certain areas is also a priority for the city. Cape Town has a number of heritage protection overlay zones, with 27 being tabled. This, says Bryant, is also a difficult balance to get right.
But I think we also have to make sure that we don't put all our emphasis on only protecting buildings, but also ensuring that communities receive a form of protection as well. We don't want pretty buildings with no soul.